crawling, bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us, 50 feet away from us. So we're standing there, we're pointing at the guy crawling up the roof.
And he had a gun, right?
He had a rifle. We could clearly see him with a rifle.
What's up? What's happening? Welcome back to Roughhandspodcast. Today we doing a reaction video to Pink Book Lessons on Donald Trump failed assassination attempt. Let's get into it.
Absolutely. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle. And the police were like, huh, what? Like they didn't know what was going on. We're like, hey, right here on the roof. We can see him from right here. We see him. He's crawling. And next thing you know, I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? I'm standing there pointing at him for 2-3 minutes. Secret Service is looking at us from the top of the barn. I'm pointing at that roof, just standing there like this. And next thing you know, 5 shots ring out.
So you're certain that the shots came from that guy on the roof?
100%.
The world is already aware of what happened on July 13th, 2024, a day that will forever be marked in history books as the moment somebody almost took out a former president in broad daylight at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, while many people on the ground tried to alert Secret Service that some weird thug was on top of the building with clear access to take out Donald Trump.
First of all, how is that even possible for them Secret Service to not notice this man appear on top of a roof with a weapon? And they didn't respond, didn't engage this man till after the fact. Yeah, Trump about to fire that whole damn team.
That man ended up taking out an innocent bystander, then 2 other people rushed to the hospital critically injured before he was wiped out himself, coming super close to getting Trump on live television, instead reportedly only injuring his ear. What many are wondering the day after is, how did this happen? The Secret Service was the leading security for the rally. Their job was to protect Trump, who's not just a current presidential candidate, but he's a former president. Questioning how could they even allow a man on top of a building so close like that, then totally ignoring everyone who tried to alert them for at least 3 to 5 minutes before any of this happened.
A gentleman who was along the fence line, I'm just meeting him right now. Sir, thank you so much. You're talking to KDKA. Can I have your name and what did you see and hear?
This is Ben Macer. I was at the same point that probably the witness you were talking to earlier. I was up at the fence line, saw the guy move from roof to roof, told an officer that he was on the roof. The officer come looking, I went back to heard that there was somebody that could see the person, so I went back to where they were standing, saw the person, went back and told the officer again that if he goes back to that particular spot, he can see the person, figuring that he would go in radio. And when I turned around to go back to where I was is when the gunshots started, and then it was just chaos and we all came running away, and that was that.
So let me get this right. So you actually saw the man on top of the roof behind us?
Yes.
Man, they suck. Man, that whole Secret Service did a horrible job. Now, this what gets me, people. I'm not in depth of knowledge of the Secret Service, but I do know when the presidency comes, or anybody in political power, when they come to an event like this, the Secret Service come like a week before the event or a few days before to scout it. They make sure the bombs, they check them for any vulnerable positions that the president can be in. Man, they failed big time to not even think to bother look at the top of this roof. They did a horrible job. I wouldn't trust them at all with my life.
And you're saying people reported that to law enforcement, saying there's a man on the roof of the building?
Yes, there were two officers that were actively searching. You could tell they were searching and looking for somebody, and we just tried to help and tell them where the guy was. And they, at some point, somebody obviously found him, or the snipers found him, and that was the end of his decisions.
They didn't get him until after he opened fire. So not only was he allowed to crawl on this building for minutes, but he was allowed to get shots off. And basically he almost got Trump. He missed a shot.
Did you get a good look at the guy on the roof?
I did not have a good look at him, but I just seen him going from one building to another. There was a little gap in between, and he went. And when I went back to see the people that I heard that could see him, seen a quick look at him there, and then went to the officer to tell the officer, and that was all that I got.
How many gunshots did you hear?
I have no idea. It was, at first I didn't know what I heard, and then once it became clear what I heard, that it was just getting out of there, and I helped a lady that had a 4-year-old kid, helped them get out, and that was it. We were done, and everybody went home.
You're obviously shaken up right now, just talking to me.
A little bit. It's not every day that you're that.
Now, I don't know if you for Trump or not for Trump, you went them against him, that doesn't matter. It's the point that a former president, life was in jeopardy that day. They attempted to kill him and failed miserably. Thank God. That's unacceptable, y'all. We shouldn't be having presidents trying to get assassinated.
Close to anything like that.
How far do you think that shooter was from the stage of where the former president was speaking?
Probably 250 yards.
Just a couple of 100 yards away. And when you had all these people telling them about that man on the building, they didn't try to get Trump out of there. They allowed him to stay on stage for minutes. But the first problem is, why did they know about the threat? Why is it that all these people on the ground had to tell them about the threat? There are so many accounts of people saying, oh, we had to tell them that something was happening. Why didn't the Secret Service already know about the man on the building? Or did they?
Which law enforcement agencies were tasked with securing this particular rally outside of the United States Secret Service?
Well, Secret Service always has the lead on securing something like this, but then they work very closely. And I hate to use the word routine, but it is a fairly routine matter for all of our agencies to work jointly with the Secret Service.
Out of all of the law enforcement agencies there, the Secret Service was on top of everybody.
And it really depends on the venue, on what information is out there, what number of resources are devoted to it, and we work with them to provide whatever is requested by the Secret Service, but they're the lead in that security.
Was there anything about this venue that made it particularly difficult to secure?
You know, I would defer to the Secret Service to answer that. They would have done the initial assessment.
Would you have had perhaps a local official secure that roof to make sure the roof is clear, make sure nobody's in the building, and then stand guard there so no one comes in after that clearing?
So we don't know if they did or did not do this.
Yes, but they should have.
I would presume you should have a local police presence in that area.
Hold up. You mean to tell me from the shooter was at, it was about roughly 148 yards. Y'all, they failed so bad. I want you to understand, in the Army, and for one of the shooting requirements, is either from you shooting from 50 meters all the way to 300 meters. You have to be able to shoot those with iron sights or just a regular M16, right? I can hit 300 yards away from just iron sights on an M16, become a soldier. You mean to tell me they didn't even think to secure that location anywhere from, I would say, 300 yards, probably more than that, 500 yards, to be real with you. 500 yards more, they need to have snipers on the roof. So they didn't even secure that area.
Now, could you have put somebody on that rooftop? You could have. The other element is the counter sniper team. So as far as we know, we see a 2-man team from the Secret Service side. As we were discussing prior before we started speaking, they are looking at everything. They have to cover 360 degrees. So I know a lot of folks are like, how could they not see this?
Nah, this was a complete failure. And Secret Service, as lead on this detail, is responsible. Point blank, period. They did not do their job. Now the question is, was it sloppiness or laziness? Or was this deliberately done? Because I'm telling you right now, Trump shouldn't trust any of these people.
I tell you, someone didn't do their job. That leads to me thinking, was this an inside job? Because 148 yards away and y'all didn't have someone on top of that roof? Are you serious? How is that even possible? 148 yards away, they didn't have someone on their roof. A regular M16 with iron sights can easily hit that with no problems. Like, wow, y'all. Yeah, that's messed up, and I am very disappointed in that because I can't believe that. Like, I would have did a better job than them motherfuckers. I promise you that. At least I would have had somebody on that roof. Well, that's all I got for y'all today. Hope y'all enjoyed the content. Please like and push the goddamn button. Oh yeah, drop a comment down in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. I'm out. Peace.